America's greatest strengths has always been our ability to attract talented, hardworking people who believe in this country, who want to help make it stronger. That's what keeps us young. That's what keeps us dynamic and energized. That's what makes us who we are. But our current immigration system doesn't reflect those values. It allows the best and brightest to study here, but then tells them to leave, start companies somewhere else. It punishes immigrants and businesses who play by the rules and fails to address the fact that there are too many who don't. It separates families, and it denies innocent young people the chance to earn an education or serve in the uniform of the country they love. Now, once again, the problem is not the lack of technical solutions. We know what the solutions are to this challenge. Just 6 years ago, an unlikely trio, John McCain, Ted Kennedy, President Bush, came together to champion comprehensive immigration reform. I, along with a lot of Democrats, were proud to join 23 Senate Republicans in voting for it. Today, those same Republicans have been driven away from the table by a small faction of their own party. It's created the same kind of stalemate on immigration reform that we're seeing on a whole range of other economic issues. And it's given rise to a patchwork of state laws that cause more problems than they solve and are often doing more harm than good. Now, this makes no sense. It's not good for America. And as long as I am president of the United States, I will not give up the fight to change it. In the face of a Congress that refuses to do anything on immigration, I've said that I'll take action wherever I can. So my administration has been doing what we can without the help in Congress for more than 3 years now. And last week we took another step. On Friday we announced that we're lifting the shadow of deportation from deserving young people who were brought to this country as children. We should have passed the DREAM Act a long time ago. It was written by members of both parties. When it came up for a vote a year and a half ago, Republicans in Congress blocked it. The bill hadn't changed. The need hadn't changed. The only thing that had changed was politics. The need had not changed. The bill hadn't changed, written with Republicans. The only thing that had changed was politics. And I refused to keep looking young people in the eye, deserving young people in the eye, and tell them, tough luck. The politics is too hard. I've met these young people all across the country. They're studying in our schools, they're playing with our children, pledging allegiance to our flag, hoping to serve our country. They are Americans. In their hearts, in their minds, they are Americans through and through, in every single way but on paper. And all they want is to go to college and give back to the country they love. So lifting the shadow of deportation and giving them a reason to hope, that was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. It's not amnesty. It falls short of where we need to be, a path to citizenship. It's not a permanent fix. This is a temporary measure that lets us focus our resources wisely while offering some justice to these young people. But it's precisely because it's temporary, Congress still needs to come up with a long-term immigration solution rather than argue that we did this the wrong way or for the wrong reasons. So to those who are saying Congress should be the one to fix this, absolutely. For those who say we should do this in a bipartisan fashion, absolutely. My door's been open for 3.5 years. They know where to find me. I've said time and again, send me the DREAM Act, I will sign it right away. And I'm still waiting to work with anyone from either party who is committed to real reform. But in the meantime, the question we should consider is this: was providing these young people with the opportunity for a temporary measure of relief the right thing to do? I think it was. It's long past time that we gave them a sense of hope. Now, your speaker from yesterday has a different view. In a speech, he said that when he makes a promise to you, he'll keep it. Well, he has promised to veto the DREAM Act, and we should take him at his word. I'm just saying. And I believe that would be a tragic mistake. You do too. On all these issues, on the investments we need to grow the middle class and leave a better future for our kids, on deficit reduction that's fair and balanced, on immigration reform, on consumer financial protection so that people aren't exploited, whether at a payday loan shop or if they're sending remittances back to their families. On all these issues, Washington's got a long way to go to catch up with the rest of the country. Now, the whole idea behind the DREAM Act, after all, was inspired by a music teacher in Illinois. She decided to call her senator, Dick Durbin, when she discovered that one of her own students was forced to live in the shadows. But even as that idea fell prey to gridlock and game playing in Washington, it gained momentum in the rest of the country. From every student who marched and organized to keep their classmates from being deported, from every parent who discovered the truth about the child down the street and chose to stand up for them, because these are all our kids. For every American who stood up and spoke out across the country because they saw a wrong and wanted it to be righted, who put their shoulder to the wheel and moved us a little closer toward justice. That's what's always moved us forward. It doesn't start in Washington. It starts with 1 million quiet heroes who love their country and believe they can change it. Now, we all have different backgrounds. We all have different political beliefs. Latino community is not monolithic. The African American community is not all of one mind. It was a big country. And sometimes in tough times in a country this big and busy, especially during a political year, those differences are cast in a bright spotlight. But I ran for this office because I am absolutely convinced that what binds us together has always proven stronger than what drives us apart. We are one people. We need one another. Our patriotism is rooted not in race, not in ethnicity, not in creed. It is based on a shared belief in the enduring and permanent promise of America. That's the promise that draws so many talented, driven people to these shores. That's the promise that drew my own father here. That's the promise that drew your parents or grandparents or great-grandparents Generations of people who dreamed of a place where knowledge and opportunity were available to anybody who was willing to work for it, anybody who was willing to seize it. A place where there was no limit to how far you could go, how high you could climb. They took a chance. And America embraced their drive and embraced their courage. Said, come. You're welcome. This is who we are. Every single day I walk into the Oval Office, every day that I have this extraordinary privilege of being your president, I will always remember that in no other nation on earth could my story even be possible. That's something I celebrate. That's what drives me in every decision I make. To try and widen the circle of opportunity. To fight for that big and generous and optimistic country we inherited. To carry that dream forward for generations to come. Because when I meet these young people, all throughout communities, I see myself. Who knows what they might achieve? I see my daughters and my nieces and my nephews. Who knows what they might achieve if we just give them a chance? That's what I'm fighting for. That's what I stand for. This fight will not always be easy. It hasn't always been easy. It will not happen overnight. Our history has been one where that march towards justice and freedom and equality has taken time. There will always be plenty of stubborn opposition in the way that says, no, you can't. No, you shouldn't. Don't even try. But America was built by people who said something different. Who said, yes, we can. Who said, sí, se puede. And as long as I have the privilege of being your president, I will be alongside you fighting for the country that we together dream of. God bless you. Thank you, NALEO. God bless the United States of America.
President Obama once again reintroducing the familiar phrase, yes, we can, sí se puedo. That was something that he said often in the 2008 presidential campaign. That was the last time he was before this group. This is the largest Latino group convention of politicians and policymakers, clearly a very important constituency for the president. He said, we are all one. We need each other. He talked about the importance of diversity. He made some parallels between the Latino community and the African-American community, reminding them that this is a country that they're made up of hard workers. He also said as well it was the right thing to do, meaning his health care reform, pushing for the DREAM Act, and not even mentioning his opponent by name, Mitt Romney. He only said that he was the speaker from yesterday, taking a swag at Mitt Romney, saying that he did not support the DREAM Act. That is something that is very important to many in the Latino community. And finally, he said this is a place where you can make it if you try. He repeated that several times, got several standing ovations. It is clear that the speech today from President Obama and the one from Mitt Romney yesterday underscores the importance, the critical importance of the Latino community in determining who's going to be the next president of the United States. We're going to have more with Newsroom and Don Lemon after the break.